What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry questions arc. Or I guess Umineko no Naku Koro ni Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning, which means, hey, guess what? Finally, I got the PS3 patch to work. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, mainly because it forces voice acting into the game. And I wanted to just do my voices regularly, because it wouldn't be any fun. It'd just be me going, oh, the entire Let's Play, if it's entirely voice acted. However, I was informed last episode by someone, well, not last episode, but 2 episodes ago. They didn't comment until after I already recorded episode 32. They gave me a link to a patch that actually worked, and they told me that I can turn down the voices. So I went in and turned down the voices. So I just started on the title screen to show you guys, and I might as well just look into tips just to see, like, yep, new sprites and everything. I must say, these sprites look quite a bit better. There are some that I'm not a huge fan of, like, I think Hideyoshi's Steam sprite looks a little bit better. And I definitely prefer Kumasawa's Steam sprite as well, but the rest of them are pretty damn good, even though I had already seen a lot of them from the thumbnails and stuff that I've been making. Change. Oh, that's his casual. He doesn't have the Tomitake shirt then. That's a shame. But yeah, like, my thumbnails, I've been getting the sprites from someone else because I don't want to go looking around and getting spoiled by existing and looking at all these other sprites that should be spoilers. Like, if I knew nothing about the series beforehand and I was like, okay, I want to put Maria in a thumbnail and I saw one of her crazy faces, I'd be like, yeah, that's a spoiler, you know? And I don't know if any of these other characters have crazy faces. Like, Beatrice, obviously, I'd probably expect stuff from that, but expect stuff from her like that. But if, like, Kyrie or Rosa or Hideyoshi or someone else had a crazy face, it'd be different, yeah. Plus, I wouldn't want to see characters I haven't seen before. I mean, it is just these characters, really, that are in this area, but I know there are. I'm pretty sure there are others. Yeah, I know there's at least one other on this side who we haven't been introduced to yet, but whatever. Yeah, Burn looks a lot different here. And Lambda Delta's eyes are red now, which is interesting. I must say a lot of the characters do look better. Cannon's looks mostly the same. But like Kinzo, I think his looks considerably different. And the Stakes of Purgatory especially look a hell of a lot better than they did in the Steam version. Because seriously, the Steam ones were just kind of shit, honestly, for the Stakes of Purgatory. And looking at the originals, those are even better than the Steam ones, honestly. But, yeah. That shit aside, let's get back into this. Last episode, we started Chapter 3, and I had to fast forward through in order to get back to where we were. We learned a lot about Eva's past, and some of Beatrice's past, too, which was interesting. So, let's just get back into it. Also, my family runs a dog kennel. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before. And since neither of my parents or my brother are home, even though my brother's younger than me and the responsibility would be given to me anyways, we have a kennel customer who's supposed to show up and call a little bit before 6. So if there's a cut in the video, that's why, but I still have to record in order to get this ready for tomorrow, so woo, whatever. Let's just get into this. Huh? Oh, that was Eva. Huh? When she left the boat, it seemed to Eva as though she'd heard the voice of her young self. No, it hadn't seemed that way. Someone had told her, welcome back. After becoming a shameless adult, the voice of her young self was distant. Okay. What am I living for? What can I do to release myself from this obsession? Hideyoshi heard her talking to herself. When Hideyoshi held on tightly to Eva's shoulders, his firmness alone told her that there was no need to say anymore. Also, I also noticed that when I was fast-forwarding through, the part where Kraus, Eva, Kinzo were all talking way back when Eva and Kraus were children, those were CGs, so the CGs work too, which is perfect. They were just kind of like regular, like, drawings made to look a little older, because that was probably like the 60s or something, so... Actually, probably not even. It was probably more like the 40s, since they're probably like 50-ish right now. Maybe the 50s. I don't know. I don't know exactly how old any of the characters are, except for that we're 17 and Jessica's 18. And I think they said Canon's 15. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just fucking continue. Maybe it was because the typhoon was getting closer. The lively cries of the seagulls, which usually greeted them when they arrived, couldn't be heard at all. I also like how this is widescreen now. Much better aspect ratio. Umineko no Nakukoro ni Ronove the Witch in Reasoning. That's a much better logo, honestly. I'm still gonna keep on calling it a... Oh, wow. Yeah, let's just make it 2 already. I'm still gonna be calling it Questions Arc, since that's what it's called on Steam. But, whatever. Okay. Christ, it's panning, even. This is so advanced! I'm geeking over a small little visual change. Just a slight pan downward through clouds and blue. Oh look, it's Batward. The sprites look a lot bigger, too. Like, when put on screen. I'm not sure if that's like an intentional design change or if it's just an illusion due to the bigger aspect ratio. Who knows? What, you mean 6 years ago? I mean, I was still in elementary school back then, right? It's pretty unfair to expect me to remember everything, don't you think? True. Especially because we were so young. We've grown a lot in these 6 years. If I hadn't been introduced, I might not even have remembered you. Really? I figured he was Batward right away. Can I change the text speed? Okay, yeah, I remember. Pressing 3 changes the text speed. Okay. And when he opened his mouth, I was sure. I just met him for the first time. Didn't know him 6 years ago. That's right. Maria was only 3 years old then. Well, the same goes for me. I only knew Maria when she was 3 years old. And since she's grown so big, of course I wouldn't recognize her. After lunch, we had all gone out to the beach to walk around, talk, and take it easy. Our parents were apparently having a suspicious, complicated discussion, so we ended up leaving them behind. Well, just as I'd guessed from the start, the conversation focused on me, since I'd been away for 6 years. Still, you've really gotten tall. George doesn't look much shorter than Batware, with these sprites, honestly. I wouldn't call myself short, but your height really surprised me. That's right, I remember well what Batware was like 6 years ago, but I was surprised even so. Yes, seriously. I can hardly believe this is the same Batware we knew back then. Also, I gotta say, the sprites have much better proportions, meaning, no more back pain, you know? So that's great. I'm surprised how much everyone remembers about it. My memory's all hazy. Yeah, I'll bet. Looks like it's taken you a while to remember us. You know, that hurts a bit. The sprites are a lot more expressionful, too. I have seen them a lot, these sprites. Not just from the thumbnails, of course, when I was just given sprites, but when I watched the Umineko Gold trailer, they used PS3 sprites also, and it looked exceptional, so, yeah. Come on, this was 6 years ago, right? I'm the one who has it bad, being forced to remember. Are you saying that you can't remember well because it was 6 years ago? I can remember it as clearly as if it happened yesterday. Well, your memory's great, after all. You remember the kind of things Batware did and said back then pretty clearly, don't you? Come to think of it, that's right. Shannon's memory can be incredible when you'd least expect it. Ew, I'm horrible at remembering. I remember fun things, but I can't remember boring things at all. Ew. We all laughed, saying that everyone was like that. Shannon, by the way, what was Batware like 6 years ago? Remember any interesting episodes? Let's see. I'm sure that he said something like this when he left.
I'll be back. See you again. I'll surely come for you riding a white horse.
Ah, stop it! So embarrassing!
Sounds just like something you'd say. God, what the hell, Butler?
That is super cringy, even for a 13-year-old in 1980, I guess.
Yeah, I remember you always used to be full of those stupid lines, Butler. It really does sound like something Butler would have said back then. Oh, embarrassing? Is that embarrassing?
Yeah. He's crying. What? No one's died yet, Butler. Horribly embarrassing. Maria, I'm sure that when you're in middle school, you'll want to say embarrassing stuff like that. When that happens, make sure you write it down and read it 3 times before saying it out loud. If you don't, you'll definitely regret it. Still, everyone has to pass through that pitiful period. That's right. That's how you learn your place, learn shame, and become an adult. Yeah, it's one of those bittersweet things everyone does in adolescence as they transition to becoming adults. A memory you just want to forget. True. Argwa! After all, this was all stuff I'd let slip out without thinking, so I didn't remember the words exactly. But now that those words were being recited to me, they were as embarrassing as all hell. I only recently came to understand this weakness and was working hard to avoid such careless outbursts. But I guess I was just born with the habit of speaking without thinking, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Shannon, do you remember any of the other embarrassing stuff? Yes, well, I remember a few other things, but since it looks like the person in question wants to forget them, I think I'll refrain from saying any more.
To be brutally honest, I don't remember this at all. Please don't make me remember.
Shannon's bullying Butler? You can't. You shouldn't bully people.
She isn't really bullying him. Let's leave it at that, okay? But Shannon, you'll have to tell me all about it sometime when Butler isn't around. It sounds pretty interesting. Okay.
Yes, certainly.
Also, something I just remembered, No, you can't, Shannon! Something I remembered is, when I booted up the game with the, patch for the first time, it told me that, what's it called? It told me that the movies, the opening movies, actually changed for the PS3 version, but they can be considered spoilers. Which, I don't know why they would put spoilers in your opening movies. Even though you can kind of claim everything does that. Oh, an opening, a trailer, you gotta put spoilers in there in some kind, you know? Which, yeah, fine. You could, hell, you could even argue that the very first opening for the first episode is spoilers for the first episode, just by showing Maria with blood on her face, even though she didn't kill anyone ever, but whatever. So I'm just using the old ones just to avoid any interpretative spoilers. I was told in the comments of episode 31 that they're not like huge spoilers. Like, it's not something that'll say like, oh, this is who the killer is for this arc, haha. It's stuff more like, oh, subtle chance that something looking like this might actually possibly happen or something, I don't know. You know, stuff like that. But just to avoid it, we're not gonna watch those. We're just gonna use the regular old openings. So it's gonna probably use the old sprites and everything, but whatever. For a while, George laughed at me, as though warming up for when Shannon would tell him about more of my embarrassing misspeaks. Well, it's Umineko as always, even with these HD backgrounds and better looking sprites, you know? George looked like he was flirting with Shannon, but he seemed somewhat open and frank about it. He was always that way with his cousins, but he usually took on a reserved, gentlemanly attitude when he came into contact with the servants. When I thought about it, I got the feeling he was being a bit overly friendly, which seemed strange. Maria started scribbling in the sand with a stick, and George and Shannon joined in. This left me and Jessica off to the side, so I asked her secretively. Hey, Jessica, is George, going out with Shannon?
Oh? What the? How'd you guess? Butler, you've got a keener eye for people than I thought.
Huh, what? I was just kidding, but they're actually going out?
Shh! Your voice is too loud. It looks like they're keeping it secret for now, okay? It'd be better if nobody found out about it, especially Aniva.
I see. Love with a servant, huh? Okay, I guess I have to click twice there. Yeah, but since when? I guess a lot can happen in 6 years. But yeah, George is an amazing person, and Shannon seems to be kind and brave, so they might make a pretty good match. Actually, 6 years ago, I remember taking notice of her just a little bit. I see, she really fits well with George. Nothing I can do about that. Goodbye, my fleeting first love of 6 years ago. Oh, so Battler used to like Shannon? Well, that's lore, I guess. Which means that the collection of embarrassing lines Shannon had just held back on probably had something to do with that. I can't take it. How long have they been going out?
That depends on what you call going out, but I think it's been at least a year. But if you don't count the time they both... Wait, but if you count the time they both had one-sided feelings, it'd probably be several years. Before I'd realized it, the two of them had separated themselves from the group and were walking down the beach, talking about something. They looked calm, and rather than a light relationship between two lovers, it looked like a more serious one, as though they were already engaged. Wouldn't you know it? 6 years ago, huh? That's a long time. What did those 6 years mean to me? I've just gotten taller. It was just a waste of time. 6 years I spent obstinately fighting with my dad. What about you, Battler? You got a girlfriend?
I wonder. There's a few girls that I have fun with. But there's no only one. Yeah, a few, like 7. I guess I'm just a kid. I think it's more fun to be noisy with a large group of people than being alone with one person.
That's so you, Battler. But take your relationships with your female friends seriously. When girls get wrong impressions or form a group, it can be scary, you know? They might be having secret feuds over you behind your back, with people getting hurt or crying.
That's so weird. I think I remember getting the same bit of advice from one of the girls in my class just last week. What's this all about? Why can't everyone just have fun together? That would happen. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. The phone rang. Clearly, you could hear it very well, I'm sure. But nothing... it was not even the person I was expecting, so... that would happen, you know? What's this all about? Why can't everyone just have fun together? Do people really want to couple up that much?
It's probably because you've never found a partner like that, Battler. Well, you might run into someone sooner or later. You've just gotta wait patiently.
What? It almost sounds like you've already found a partner like that. What about you? Have you gotten a boyfriend?
Huh? Me? No.
Come on, that reaction's so easy to understand. From the looks of it, there's some boy you're thinking about, but you haven't been able to confess to him yet. Something like that.
No, that's not, shut up. Who cares about that?
If you're the one who brought up this subject, why are you yelling at me now? Women are creatures who always ask questions and yet almost never answer them. What cruel creatures, seriously.
Well, I did try to confess once. Well, I struck out pretty badly.
Did you get an I'm sorry?
No, my feelings were seriously one-sided and they didn't really know how to respond, I guess. It was like they didn't view me that way at all.
Well, I can understand that. You talk like a man after all. If you don't act a bit more graceful, you won't be able to catch a boy's interest.
Is it really... Is the way I speak really that bad?
Well, how you talk isn't everything, but when people like you, who usually have a rough style of speech, suddenly start working hard to talk more normally, well, there are guys out there whose heart will skip a beat when they see how determined you are.
Is that really true?
I see. Yeah. Jessica suddenly started talking more meekly, and then her face instantly went slightly red. Okay. I see. Even though her confession didn't go well, it looks like she still hasn't given up. But still, I get it. After seeing how close George and Shannon have gotten, I also kind of want to have a girlfriend. 6 years. 6 years of puberty are pretty important, and they went by pretty fast. As the typhoon approached, the clouds grew steadily grayer, but even so, I had this really refreshing feeling. Maybe I'll try thinking more seriously about the opposite sex, more than just the size of their boobs. Yeah, you do that, Battler. By the way, Looks like George is going out with a servant. Don't tell me it's the same for you.
Huh? What? Why do you think that?
Come to think of it, that kid Cannon, who greeted us in the Rose Garden. You were covering for him pretty intensely, considering he was just a little awkward at talking.
No, that's not...
Now you're getting paranoid. Then tell me just one thing, right now. Is the boy you're after within 1 kilometer of this spot?
Well, about that, I wonder...
Cannon was the only boy on this island now who could possibly become her boyfriend. So judging by her reaction, I was right on. I didn't think of the Ushiromiyas family as a noble family, but love with a servant. I wouldn't have dreamed that 2 pairs of Romeo and Juliet would be right next to me. Aunt Eva would probably become an obstacle to George and Shannon's love. If Aunt Eva ever learned that Shannon was the partner of her only beloved son, she'd probably scream at her for trying to steal away her precious George, like she did in Chapter 2. And a relationship between Jessica and Cannon would probably be just as full of difficulties. Aunt Natsuhi was also very strict about that kind of thing. After all, Jessica's husband would probably become the head of the Ushiromiyas family in the future. If that person had once been a servant working for the family, well, things would get complicated. Well, love is different for every person. As long as you're with someone who's fun to be around, does anything else matter? When 2 people pair up, they don't need anyone's permission as long as they accept each other. Worrying about what your parents or family will say means you've already lost. Don't forget that. You'd better not go out with someone with mixed feelings. I can't believe you're saying something so philosophical sounding when you haven't even been in love. Don't treat love like a matter of profit and loss. It's about heart. That's all I have to say. Well then, see you again. Have a nice day. Pfft, what the hell was that?
George, Shannon, listen! This guy, he said another one of those lines.
I didn't say anything. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me!
Oh, I heard it. See you again.
For a while, we forgot that the wind was getting stronger and played around on the beach. I hate when I'm home alone because I always hear weird noises. I'm gonna take this cardboard tube and beat whoever the fuck is intruding on my household with it to death. Well, no, I'm just gonna hit their shins and knock them out, if anything, but... Excuse me, motherfucker. Is that a person or am I just dumb? Nah, that ain't no one. Whoa, hold on. Nope, garage light isn't on unless they just turned it off. Ha! Gotcha! Nope, nothing. I'm just a paranoid shithead. There's nothing out there. So, we continue. I grew a lot these past 6 years, and being able to celebrate my youth and meet with all my cousins was truly refreshing. It was a bit late now, but I realized that I should have gotten back together with everyone a lot sooner and returned to the Ushiromiyas family. It sure is nice to have all the cousins together every once in a while.
Oh, I like it too. It's really fun when all the cousins get together.
That's right, we're already old enough. It's not like we couldn't meet each other when our parents aren't around. It might not be a bad idea to gather the cousins together and play every once in a while. That's a good plan. Maybe we should set something up like that the next time we get a chance. Yeah, I agree. I hope we cousins can stay friends forever. Hey, if you make such a big deal of it, you almost make it sound like relatives usually end up hating each other. Hey. George and Jessica laughed, but it felt just a little strained. Did I say something wrong? Judging by how our parents made quiet expressions and tired faces every once in a while during the boat ride and at the airport, maybe I should have kept that to myself. You're right. It's just like Jessica said. Let's always be friends to each other.
Ew, me too. We're all friends.
That's right. Yeah. We'll always be together. We'll always be friends. Man, we've been saying some pretty embarrassing stuff. I feel kinda awkward.
But I think it's very important. People are creatures who find it very hard to stay together, much less remain friends unless they truly desire it.
That's right. You really can't take everyone being friendly for granted.
I wish I know said it. Happiness won't be granted unless everyone believes in it.
That's true. Maybe some magic exists in the power of belief. If we all believe in that, I'm sure it'll bring us happiness.
Alright, Well, if we're doing embarrassing stuff already, let's all swear to believe in this together, okay? That we'll all always be friendly, that we'll always be happy.
Like hell we'll end up like our parents. Like hell. As if we'd ever search for each other's weaknesses, going after grandfather's fortune. Okay, we'll always be friendly and happy. Let's all believe in that. No matter how much we cousins tried to nostalgically have fun, dark clouds continue to approach Rokkenjima. I wonder if the typhoon will pass and let us see the clear skies before we leave this island. Who cares about what our parents are planning? Who cares about the inheritance and the honor of our old family? As youthful as we were renewing our old friendship. And we all believed together that we could find happiness. That's why I want this pair of days to end without anything weird happening, in peace and happiness, and calmly. No, I don't just want them to end. Please let them end. Big oops there, Battler!
Let them end?
That's a much better sprite for Beatrice, honestly. Makes her look a lot more intimidating, but also regal, you know? Because the original one just made her look cranky. Damn it! Don't show up! Don't appear! Damn it, damn it, damn it!
Sorry to keep you waiting. I finally prepared a new game. Come, let us begin this tale of tragedy. Come to me, winds, rain, typhoon! Cut this island off from the real world. Throw Rokkenjima into another realm, into the spirit world, into a world of fantasy.
Oh boy, big womp. And there it is. And so, the tale repeated for the third time. However, to end this witch, what did it matter whether it was the first, second, or third time? It probably didn't matter at all. After all, this was a tale of fantasy, endlessly repeating until the match was settled. Would Battler surrender first, or would the witch? Who knows? Who cares? Actually, it probably matters. Oh look, it's the house. Then the sky grew dark and cloudy, and the rain and wind were summoned together and became a typhoon. Maria could be seen in the rose garden, paying no mind to the rain that had started falling, going around in circles, searching for that single rose that should have been marked. And so, what? Do I have to click? I do, okay.
Not here. Not here. My rose that we marked isn't here.
Maria definitely remembered it. That rose had been in the flower bed right here, and yet it wasn't anymore. She didn't know what to do with her irritation at not being able to find something that should have been there, and moaning bitterly, she couldn't help but keep going back and forth in circles around the same spot. She was acting almost as though she'd be able to see it if she looked at a different angle. But even though she did that, there was no way to find something that wasn't there. What is it with the rose, anyways? Like, does the real culprit always take away the rose in order to make Maria stay outside so they can give her a letter? That wouldn't make very much sense. That's like an awfully specific thing to do. Giving Maria the letter every time. Whatever. The wind grew increasingly strong and the rain turned into cold, large drops. There was no way even Maria would fail to notice this. However, if she couldn't find her rose here, it would surely disappear forever. Maria believed that. That feeling spurred her on to keep searching for a rose that she had no chance of finding. Just then, the cold drops of rain tormenting Maria were suddenly blocked.
Eh?
Maria raised her head. When she did, she saw an umbrella there, protecting her from the rain. And the one holding out that umbrella was... Big Womp, hi, it's Beatrice. The witch she admired, Beatrice.
Beatrice! What are you doing so frantically in the middle of all this rain? You could catch a cold like this. Even witches have to care for their own health. I can't find my rose. No matter how many times I search, even though it should have been here, I can't find it.
Maria told Beatrice about how there had been a slightly unhealthy, pitiful rose, and that she was sure they had marked it.
Ho ho! So you can't find it.
If you are a witch's apprentice, you should use magic to search for the rose. I believe that searching with just your eyes won't be nearly enough.
I can't find it. I did my best and tried to search with magic, but I can't find it.
I think practicing your magic is a very good thing, but it might be a little too much for you with all this wind and rain. Allow me to lend you some special power. Concern for one's disciples is also one of a teacher's duties.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Maria's face, which had been full of sadness until just now, split open into a grin. Maria knew. She knew that there was nothing Beatrice's magic couldn't do. So she was sure that Beatrice would be able to find the rose easily, even though Maria couldn't. Beatrice closed her eyes lightly, acting as though she was listening for something in all this wind and rain. Then she heard it, opened her eyes, and spoke. All things in this world are transitory. Too bad, Maria. It seems your rose couldn't withstand all of this wind and rain.
Then my rose?
It was uprooted by the wind and is no longer of this world. What Beatrice had said was quite reasonable. There was nothing odd about the flower being broken off at the stem in this strong wind. However, Maria couldn't accept this and bitterly gave a low-pitched moan. Oh, fuck. That's not an expression I expected from her.
No.
Huh?
No. It's my rose.
I did not mean to right-click.
My rose won't come back. No! I'll bring it back to life with my magic. Beatrice, teach me how to revive a rose with magic.
It's much too early for an apprentice like you to learn the hidden art of endless magic. Know your place. Maria wiped the tears from her eyes, full of regret. Okay. Beatrice shrugged her shoulders and cackled at Maria's pitiable expression. Very well. I will lend you my power, the hidden art that can revive a rose.
Really?
Indeed. Well then, concentrate the power of your heart. Close your eyes, forget the rain, forget the wind, and search for the soul of the wandering rose with the eyes of your heart. Okay. Maria closed her eyes. Then she repeated Beatrice's song-like words.
Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have? Come, try to remember. Rose, what form did you have?
Don't look, don't listen, and believe. Release the power of your soul from the cage of flesh that imprisons it. That's it. Good. Around Maria, who was concentrating her power, her eyes tightly shut, small golden butterflies began to dance. Was this the manifestation of the magical power Maria held? Lost soul of the rose, gather into one and remember your form. Come, gather, remember. The glitter of the gold butterflies began to strengthen, and their numbers increased. Then Beatrice raised a finger up to the skies, and they began to gather at the tip of that finger. Okay. And so, this was the miracle of the golden magic. The gold butterflies began to condense into a single dazzling grain of gold. It was a single glittering gold seed. It rode on the tip of Beatrice's finger, budded into a golden sprout, and opened into a golden leaf. It then slowly fell from that fingertip, sank into the mud of the flower bed, and began to grow steadily. Maria, who admired magic and the witch, really wanted to see this fantastical sight. However, as an apprentice, Maria was still not qualified to see it. No, she was probably afraid that, if she opened her eyes to look, the power that she had concentrated in her heart would be cut off, and the magic would be lost. Therefore, Beatrice, as the only one permitted to witness this golden miracle, was the only witch, the sole master of many miracles. Then the fully grown rose bloomed, creating one golden flower. And when Beatrice poked it with her finger in just the right way, the gold-colored sparkle scattered, as if, oh my god, I can't read. Just as if a golden soap bubble had popped, and what remained was a single beautiful rose.
It looks like you've remembered a splendid rose. However, if we just leave it mixed in with these other roses, you won't be able to tell it apart. Shall I perform one last service? Beatrice, for the sake of her cute apprentice, who was moaning even more now in concentration, decided to use one more bit of magic. Oonga boonga, oonga boonga, oonga boonga. Okay, there. When she snapped her fingers, a single gold butterfly appeared, fluttered around, and landed on the flower that had just been revived. Then it suddenly burst open and disappeared, becoming golden lace and marking the rose. That will do. Maria, you may open your eyes now. Eh? Where's the rose? It's not here. Not here. Not over there, over here. Look, I've marked it with golden lace. Ah, you did! Awesome, 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 awesome! Thank you, Vanto. Thank you, Vanto. I want to become a witch quickly. A great witch like you. And you can. Long ago, I too wished for that innocently, just as you do, and I have attained to that level. Maria was ecstatic over the revived rose, clapping her hands and jumping around in joy. Watching that, Beatrice rather, also smiled, looking fairly pleased. Well, that rose thing didn't technically have to happen there, I guess. But, whatever. By now I can break and repair any soul if I try, not just that of a rose. And kill and revive as I please. Fuck. Come, the barrier of the storm has now sealed Rokonjima off from the natural world. Now is the time for the Golden Witch, Beatrice, to descend as an endless witch. Beatrice pulled from her pocket an envelope with the family crest, the one-winged eagle, and gave it to Maria. Maria frolicked around at being selected to be the witch's messenger. So, Kinzo, I've come to join in on your fun once more. My preparations are already complete. What of you? Have you prepared enough coins to bet in tonight's game?
I really, really doubt it. Is this... Yep. Of course. I'm fully prepared, Beatrice. I've assembled a plethora of pieces. I'm ready both physically and mentally. So then, let us make the ante. All that you have given should be returned to you in the end. No, that's kind of wrong! Come, take it!
Kinzo flung the window of his study open wide, took off the valuable golden ring that had been on his finger, and threw it into the darkness of the raging wind and rain. That ring was struck by lightning, and after twinkling gold for an instant, disappeared. Kinzo watched it go, grinning broadly and fearlessly.
This is not grinning. I don't think I'll lose. You are mine. Forever.
You fucking sure about that?
Who are you?
It was supposed to be Beatrice, but Owen messed up the fucking voice, so now it's Monokuma, bitch!
Wrong game, bad bear.
The ring that Kinzo had thrown became a single gold butterfly and fluttered around in the wind and rain. It headed for the rose garden, almost as though it was being guided there. Then it found the figure of the Golden Witch and fluttered down. When it came down right in front of Beatrice, it burst open and returned to its original form, flying through the air. The way it was going, you would have expected it to fall into a puddle, but it stopped suddenly in midair, almost as if some transparent person had caught it. Apparently, even Beatrice hadn't expected this. However, she realized who it was, and grinned broadly at it. Oh, fuck! You! Yes, you were the one I remembered. You were the one who I thought appeared when the goat butler did. Alright, I don't remember your name, but I definitely remember you exist. So, there. Now, I think there's only one more person that I know of that exists in the story that we haven't met yet. Their name has been mentioned before, at least, so that's something. Most people probably already know who that is, and if you watched the anime or played the game or read the manga, you probably know exactly who they are, because they're pretty important, as far as it seems at least, so whatever. Hello, new guy! As she did, the shadow of the person who had caught the ring began to fuzzily appear.
It was the figure of a young man wearing a butler's uniform embroidered with the one-winged eagle crest. There was no man like this among the servants of the Ushiromiyas family. Even so, Beatrice laughed as though it was someone she remembered fondly. Ah, that's his name.
Ronove, is it? It's been quite some time. It seems you have remembered me. You were always a man who took loyalty seriously.
It has been quite some time since your last correspondence. Not for a single day have I, Ronove, forgotten that I serve you, milady. I was more afraid that you had forgotten about me. After all, you can be quite forgetful.
Oh crap, you pissed her off?
I see, yes, I certainly am forgetful. I'd forgotten even your sarcasm till I heard it again. Milady, take this. With an exaggerated yet elegant gesture, he bowed respectfully, and held out to Beatrice the head's ring that he'd just caught. It is the Ushiromiyas family head's ring, returned to you from Ushiromiyas Kinzo. It is now, once again, in the possession of its master. Indeed. This is Kinzo announcing the start of the game. Of course I'll accept it. So, how shall we play tonight? Shall I prepare the roulette immediately, or shall I prepare some black tea first? I can't decide which, but first I need you to greet someone. I'm sure that guy's got his mouth hanging open and can't shut it. Right, butler? Oh, motherfucker. Greetings. Allow me to introduce myself. I am called Ronove, and I serve at the side of Milady Beatrice. Ronove. Oh wait, fuck, I forgot. These guys are swole as shit in this, so apparently in the canon of this game, which is the same as the canon of the other ones, Rosa destroyed these guys, and apparently in the original, yeah, they weren't really that big looking. But now they're just like, we will destroy! They're just a fucking ton of MMA fighters. It's crazy. Whatever, Ronove. One of the 72 great demons, works for a master in exchange for various forms of compensation. He currently has a contract with Beatrice as her butler, head furniture. He's become proficient at housekeeping after serving in many households, so his ability as a butler is very high. In the high society of witches, employing him has become a kind of status symbol. Furthermore, the cookies he bakes are superb, and witches will often form a line demanding them. One at a time, girls, one at a time. He must possess tremendous magical power, but since he always stays out of the spotlight to further boost his master's reputation, his combat capabilities are unknown. Interesting. It is truly a pleasure to meet you. See? His mouth's hanging open and he can't shut it, right? Yeah, no shit. Another incomprehensible guy just showed up. First I grumble about goat-headed people doing the Bond dance, and then goat heads start showing up in swarms. And since then, not even those 7 ass sisters appeared. But now there's even a butler. It doesn't make sense. Cut it out. Oh, fuck. Thanks, Beatrice, but I'm gonna have to leave. By the way, butler, did you not notice? Did you realize that meeting him is a true devil's proof? Devil's proof? What do you mean? He may not look like it, but this guy's one of the 72, a genuine demon. In other words, I've brought a demon right in front of you, which truly proves that they exist. Ronove holds a noble rank in hell, the 27th highest ranked great demon. He's a pretty useful man. I summoned him at high cost and made him serve me. Why 27th? Are we gonna meet the other 26 then? Ah! That's too many characters. It is an honor to meet you. While my name is amongst those of the nobles of hell, I now serve as the head furniture of Beatrice, who despite being a vulgar human is a great witch of such caliber that demons flee before her. He's a very useful man, but he's impudent with his words. Frustratingly enough, he sometimes forgets to respect his master. Nothing in my contract specifies the manner in which I am to speak. Would you like to change that contract? It keeps me entertained, so it's fine. Beatrice turned her back to him, cackling. After bowing once to her back, Ronove turned back to Butler and stuck out his right hand, showing off an innocent smile. Normally this would mean that he was asking for a handshake. What's this supposed to be? I am another who has been suggested to Milady's whims. In that sense, I'm sure we could become good friends. This is a handshake of friendship. Of course, this in no way implies your entry into a contract with the demon, so fear not. Sorry, but I'm right in the middle of a big fight with your master. I only shake hands with an enemy after we've beaten each other up in a rainy schoolyard and are all worn out, like something you'd see in a teen drama. Remember that. I see. To shake hands with you, Butler, I must create a fitting atmosphere in a suitable location, exchanging sweet words and physical language with you that rings true to your heart. When that opportunity arrives, I shall arrange for such an encounter. I will beat you to death. I must say, I simply love situations like that myself. Wow. Okay. Poo-coo-coo-coo. Poo-coo-coo-coo-coo. Great. Great. We just have two of the weirdest laughs ever. As Ronove laughed tauntingly, he whispered to Butler, bringing his face so close that their noses were almost touching. Butler, his face turning red after getting so close to another of the same sex, pushed him away. You're a creepy bastard. I see. Just right for Beato's butler. It is an honor to receive such words of praise. I'm very confident in my tea brewing abilities, so please look forward to tea time. Baking cookies is one of my hobbies, so please feel free to request any snacks you may desire. Just what I'd expect from a pair of the same gender. You started getting along well right off the bat. I'm jealous. My. I apologize for making you jealous, milady. I shall not sneakily snatch your guest away from you. Well then, I will leave for now to retake my post as head furniture and greet my subordinates. Please forgive my short absence. Indeed. Only the common goats and the 7 sisters used for the ceremony have manifested themselves. You will be able to finish greeting them in no time. Oh? Those lively 7 sisters are here. I wonder if those naughty girls have grown a little more graceful. Likely not. If that's graceful, I'll have to doubt the definition of the word graceful. Is that so? Then I suppose you've already had the opportunity to play with those sisters. Judging by your expression, it would seem they're just as naughty as always, even though I am always telling them to act more fitting as servants of Beatrice. What troublesome kids. If that's your problem, don't worry. They actually act perfectly fitting for their master. Wow, that's rude. Now even you have begun to say it. However, a conversation means that you accept your partner. The fact that you've started to respond to my idle chatting proves that you are gradually starting to accept my existence. Heh, that's because even if the sun starts rising from the west, I will definitely absolutely never accept that you're a witch. You might want to try a more positive approach, like crying and kissing my shoes. Even if Butler was bluffing, he still spoke forcefully, a fearless expression on his face. The witch and her butler snickered together, realizing that their guest had regained more than enough of his willpower to attend to a new game, and that preparations were complete. After Ronove exchanged a few words with Beatrice, he bowed silently to Butler, scattered into several gold butterflies, and disappeared. Alright, bye. Ronove's an interesting feller. It is truly pleasing to have such a boisterous atmosphere. How boring were the days when I was trapped alone on this island, unable to regain my power and lacking anyone to talk to. I get how that unpleasant guy is really fitting as your butler. But tell me, why has that butler only appeared now? You said something about how only the goats and the sisters of the 7 stakes had manifested themselves. What did that mean? Indeed. You still resist, but I am a fully fledged witch. I am in contact with several non-human entities in the spirit world. I'll bet. No sane people would hang out with you. First some goat monsters, then those ass sisters, and this time a demon butler showed up. I hate to think about it, but the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if even more weird people appeared. Among the furniture that work at my great golden mansion, how many demons do you think want to come over and play? They will keep coming. Many of them will appear. When the door to the Golden Land is opened, I will call back all of my furniture and build my new castle here on Rokanjima. Then I plan to invite all of my old friends and we will drink and dance together for 3 days and 3 nights. Fuck. Of course I also plan to invite Kinzo's family, you see? You too, if you wish. So, is this what you mean? that since you lost your power for a long time, you couldn't summon them. And then, since your magic power has been gradually increasing, you've become able to summon more and more monsters? It is as you say. You stopped a hair's breadth before crumbling, but your heart is already wavering, and you are unable to deny that I am a witch. That wavering in your heart has been slowly restoring my power as a witch. So, are you trying to say that creepy butler appeared because I started to surrender? That's right. Bit by bit you are surrendering to me. Isn't all that humiliation you suffered in the last game a result of you submitting to me so deeply? Wasn't it great when you had to sacrifice your back for the sake of my feet? Damn it. I thought I'd be able to keep things as they were as long as I didn't accept you. But it looks like that was wrong. Correct. The closer you get to surrendering, the more the game will swing in my favor. Isn't chess the same? In the process of cornering each other's kings, we trade several pieces. Of course, I still haven't cornered your king. And furthermore, you're giving it everything you've got just to help your king escape, and have lost several pieces to me as well as a large advantage. It is only natural that further developments will tend to turn in my favor. No, that's wrong! Damn. From now on, you will probably be frantic as you try to avoid my checkmate. However, as you do, I will steal your pieces from you one by one. In the end, you'll have lost everything but your king, and you won't be able to escape no matter how much you try. Then you will receive a true checkmate. You were talking big last time, weren't you? Something about how you'd never accept me and would torment me with eternal torture. Only witches who have received the endless level can talk about eternity. That's been beyond you ever since the very beginning. Okay. Do we get shatters in the patch? Do we get shatters in the patch? I don't know if we do, but we shall see. It's alright that my chair is hitting my desk. It's not anything I'm intending to do. Hello, Beatrice picture. Kinzo has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Oh, it's her talking.
Tonight, I ask that you enjoy your battles of wits with Kinzo to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden.
When Maria finished reading the letter that Beatrice had handed her, everyone was at a loss for words for a while. And then they all broke the silence at once.
Ridiculous! What a worthless, vicious prank.
Seriously, there was no way Father gave up the head's ring. Beatrice? Ha! What a transparent prank. Hoping to confuse us just by bringing up that name. Hey, who filled this dessert up with a little too much punch?
Hey.
I want to applaud and praise you, so come clean, okay? Rosa? Her sprite's a lot more expressive.
Of course not. I wouldn't pull a prank by assuming Father's name.
Then sis? Bro?
Me? Are you an idiot? It was Kraus, right? Only he could plan something this vulgar.
Are you trying to mock me? I'm the one who wants to question you. Who is behind this ill-natured prank? Kraus beat the table and stared at everyone. Since that included the children too, he scared most of them.
A letter from a mysterious person who claims to have been given the full rights to Father's assets. Considering that the whole point of this family conference is a discussion of that subject, I think it's too hasty to call this a mere prank.
We can't be sure. Maybe it really is one of Father's shady pranks. He might have planned this to shock us a bit, since we've been discussing the distribution of his inheritance without him. If Dad was the one who planned this, then we can't take what Maria just read aloud as a joke, right?
That's right. If you interpret the contents literally, then this is a test from Father. The epitaph of the witch has been displayed in the hall for quite some time now, so that any one of us could solve it. There was plenty of notice. That means he was saying that the first person to solve it would be handed the inheritance along with all of his wealth, right?
Oh fuck, who's talking? See? Oh, it's young Eva.
See? My magic granted your wish.
Oh, fuck. I do remember seeing that sprite, like, similar in the, gold trailer, but oh my fucking god.
Nothing so foolish could possibly be the case. It is an unshakable fact that my husband is the successor to the Ushiromiyas family headship. Well, doesn't this letter shake that? This is a message from the person who is given full rights to all of father's wealth. Brother's right to become the head is returned to a blank slate. The person who solves the riddle, the person who finds Beatrice's gold, will become the next head of the Ushiromiyas family.
Ridiculous. Do you think we can trust the meaningless words in that letter? That the seal was the real thing? There's no way we can trust that.
Then let's try to go and ask father directly. At this point, you can't get away with saying he's grumpy or feeling bad, right? The sealed wax clearly shows that this was from father's representative. If you doubt that, then show some proof, Kraus. Show that this letter does not contain father's will.
Very well. It is just as you say. It no longer matters whether father's in a good mood or not. Let us go up and ask him directly. Let's do it. We'll ask Dad directly. Dad is Dad, so why would he act in such a roundabout way? Then again, I guess that would be like him.
I wonder if we really should continue this discussion on the assumption that this letter came from father. Stupid Rosa! Isn't it obviously from father? That letter is father's. Isn't it obvious that he's giving the four of us an even chance to become the successor? Die, you brainless idiot!
Rosa really is dumb. If only she'd just give up and die.
I'm sorry. That's right. I'm sorry.
It seems like they're really trying to set up Eva to be something, like, ridiculous, but I don't remember her being anything like this, so hell if I know. In the beginning, the adults had all doubted the credibility of the letter, but after realizing that this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance in the inheritance struggle for the three younger siblings, Eva changed her position, claiming that the letter was authentic. Rudolph and Rosa caught on and agreed.
Outrageous! How can adults like you take such a worthless prank this seriously? I don't need to be father to understand his contempt.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Natsuhi, all we've got to do is ask father and we're done, right? Won't everything be fine if father just tells us that he doesn't know about any letter?
Brother, take responsibility and just get him to say that he doesn't know about the letter. This is no time to get scared just because he's in a bad mood, okay? He's still scared of father at his age, that idiot. If only he'd just give up and die.
Pfft. Yeah, let's get this settled clearly. He's probably eating in his study right now. Let's have him set down his chopsticks for just a moment. It's decided. Let's go. Kyrie, wait here for a while. We'll go to check whether it's true or not and come back quickly.
Thank you. I'll wait patiently for Goda to bring in dessert.
The four siblings, Natsuhi and Hideyoshi, all rose from their seats forcefully and flew out into the hallway with a clatter. Afterwards, only the children, stunned completely speechless, Nanjo, who looked uncomfortable, and Kyrie, who just shrugged, were left. Okay. Well, that's a lot more to the letter than it was the first time. I don't think they showed us the second. In the middle of all this was Maria, who looked a little scared at the adult's sudden change. However, judging from her appearance, she didn't look like she realized the full meaning of what she'd just read.
What in the world was all that about? I don't get it.
They're all bastards. Do they really want the inheritance that much?
Everyone? Oh, I'm nearly doing an oh that's wrong. This is our parents' problem. It has nothing to do with us. So you mustn't worry about it.
Even if you say that, they were so blatant about it.
I can't believe them, showing off their greed like that. Everyone has to believe together that we'll be happy. That's right. We all did promise. Come on, Butler, Jessica, you too. I feel horrible.
We couldn't accept it at all, but we laid down our arms for the time being. We'd been vaguely aware of how filthy this family conference was going to be. However, after that 6-year blank, I couldn't help being shocked. Oh, hi, Nanjo. Did I gain weight? God damn it. When he saw that the children were completely dejected, Dr. Nanjo cleared his throat uncomfortably. It's an adult matter. It has nothing to do with all of you young people. Let us forget about it.
I would if I could. I know it's hard, but forget it for now. All of your parents have been fighting frantically to make your futures just a little brighter. Please don't look at your injured parents with those cold eyes when they come back.
Dots. No matter how much you ask us, Kyrie, that'll be tough.
If we could be happy with an explanation like that, we wouldn't be kids. Ah! Everyone, be happy! Can't get dark! Believe! If everyone doesn't believe we can be happy, that happiness will get away! Everyone has to believe! Oh! I like the sound of that. I'll believe too. I'll believe we can find happiness. Oh! Kyrie, thank you! Bauer and Jessica, you believe too. Beatrice is also always saying that magic won't have any power if you don't believe. Oh!
Kyrie rose from her seat quietly, went over to Maria, and crouched down so that their eyes met.
Oh. Aunt Kyrie believed. Now Bauer and Jessica have to believe. Those two are strong. They'll feel better soon, and then they'll believe. Yeah! More importantly, I want you to tell me something.
When Kyrie said that, Jessica, George, Dr. Nanjo, and I all listened closely. It looked like our parents were so concerned with the inheritance problem that grandfather filled their minds. But we wanted to ask Maria about something simpler.
Eh? What? Who gave you that letter? Beatrice! The witch drawn in that portrait? She gave me this letter in an umbrella. And she used magic to fix my rose that was broken. Beatrice is an awesome witch who can do anything. This little bitch is lying. Could you tell us about that in a little more detail?
Oh. It did shatter. That's in 8. Okay. And so, okay. I don't know if we're actually at an hour yet, but this recording's at 45 minutes, and I think the first one was at like 18, so we're probably a little over an hour now, so. With that, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this a little bit more with the patch, how it's an actually 16:9 aspect ratio as opposed to a 4:3 aspect ratio, so that should be good, right? Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!